Greetings and welcome to another episode of Let's Play Neverwinter Nights, and we have arrived at the ruin south of Fort Ilkard. Presumably some sort of curator ruins. So, what will this be all about? Well, I'll take the amulet and read the note. An adventurer's journal. Most of the pages are torn and bloodstained, but a few notes can be made out still. The golems are invincible. It's only luck that has them move so slowly they cannot keep up. There must be some way to defeat them. The strange wizard in the garden seems to know something, but she won't tell me. I must leave now. I know, else I may never see my family again. If only I can make it to the back to the door. Well, sorry fella, you didn't. Skeletons! Hey, fellas! Ooh, guess my class. Oh, please do. Also, always so nice when the game gives me undead to play with.
Okay, dokie.
Alright, so we have several entrances that are covered by lightning. How very, very frightening.
Aye, it's done.
Yeah, he doesn't want to talk to me. Well, that's a surprise. What about this door? This massive door will not budge despite your efforts to open it. Inscribed on the door are the following words. Only the Master of Smoke, Color and Sound may enter. There are 3 locks on the door. Alright. Fair enough. Let's go find the keys.
Aye, it's done.
And now I'm stuck for a while. Ah, drat. You really should have seen that trap, Tommy. You really should have. Don't look at me like that. Yeah. Still so many levels. Alright. Just for that. Alright, so where does this door lead? The garden. The small garden is covered in a semi-transparent magical field that glimmers above you. You can see the open sky through the bubble. Hey, Saphira. Though extremely rare in the realm, this young woman's appearance leaves little to doubt that she's a wild mage.
What? Who? Oh, pardon me, I didn't notice you there. I was rather engrossed in my contemplations of the time stream. It's easy to get lost in their paradoxical currents, if I do say so myself.
Who are you? Don't you remember me? Oh wait, maybe we haven't met yet. It's hard to keep things straight without a linear temporal reference in the time stream. No matter, I'm Saphira the Wild Mage. Time stream? Temporal reference? What are you talking about? I suppose I should start at the beginning. Haha, get it? The beginning? A little time travel joke. In a recursively accessible time stream, a beginning, by definition, cannot exist. Now do you see what's so funny? No? Never mind. Could you just get to the point, please? I'm sorry. I sometimes forget temporal displacement is a confusing subject. Let me explain. I will try to be brief and simple. I'm a researcher in fluid temporality. Time travel, if you will. That is why I am here in these ruins, because they were built on a time sink. Time travel. Right. You scoff, but subjective temporality is a fact. Time travel is not easy, you understand, and backward is much simpler than forward, but it is possible on a time sink. Time sink? A time sink is an area where it is possible to tap into the time stream and travel backwards in time, though not forwards, unless you are returning to the temporal reality you started from. Of course, such a thing is not easily accomplished. It requires old and powerful magic. Fortunately, the creator race has already done the hard work for us by building the sundials. Do you know anything about this creator race? They were a brutal people, enslaving the other races with their powerful magic. Physically, their creator race resembled the lizard people of our own time. I've seen them using the sundials to travel into the past. Are the sundials still working? They are, if you know how to use them. I could teach you how to travel back into the ancient past when these routes were still being built. But you have to perform a task for me. What's the task? I need the fruit of the rare Ultark tree. I have the seeds, but the tree only bears fruit every 10,000 years or so. What I need you to do is use your time sink to go back in time and plant the tree for me. According to my research, the only place you can safely plant the seeds and have the tree bear fruit is beneath the red warding rune painted on the soil of this garden. Plant the tree in the past and I'll be waiting here in the present to harvest the fruit. What's in this for me? Don't worry, I'll see you're well paid for your troubles. I've made a fortune in gambling over the years, plus using the sundials to go back into the age of the creator race will send you to a time before the guardian golems were created. You could go back into the past and maybe find a way to weaken the golem so you could get to the word of power you mentioned at our last meeting. Or maybe you mention it at the next meeting. It's so hard to keep everything straight. Golems? You know, the golems. The invulnerable guardians of this complex. Didn't we go over this at our next meeting? You could disable them by using the sundial to go into the past. Well, how do I use the sundial? I've actually got a notebook that explains it all. It's pretty simple. Here, take the notebook. And these Ultark tree seeds you promised to plant. Oh, you need this time crystal. Time crystals are the magic items with a special use. Just use the special property of the time crystal and target the effect on the sundial and you'll be sucked back to a time when these ruins were still being built. When you want to come back, just use the crystal again on the sundial and you'll be transported back to the present age. And if you go back into the past, you might find some way to weaken the guardian golems. Anything else? Just remember the rules. They're all in the notebook in case you forget. 1. The area of time sink only extends to the length of the ruins. You will not be able to leave the vault complex while you're back in the past. 2. You can't bring any items of power from the past back with you. When you come forward, they will be left behind. Take only memories and leave only footprints, right? That's a little time travel joke. Get it? Never mind. If I can't bring anything back from the past, I can't bring back the word power from the vault, can I? The sundial will take you to a time before this complex was completed. The word of power isn't even in there. Going back into the past won't help you get the word. Maybe you could find some way to weaken the golems in the past. I'll be going now. Well then, goodbye. We shall meet again soon. Or is it if we've already met in the past? It's hard to keep this stuff straight. Let's do this. Alright, well, I do have some issues with this whole section of the game. That they felt they could just include time travel. Off on that. I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't mind time travel as much when it is done right. I mean, heck, I played the Journeyman games. That's all time travel. But it was at least done intelligently, with rules I could understand. Here they're being just randomly arbitrary. Why couldn't I leave the complex? Well, I know it's probably because they they wouldn't have to render the world as it was back then, which wouldn't be good for me anyway. I have no real reason to go anywhere else. It tires me out a great deal when a game just throws in random time travel for no apparent reason, other than that it sounds cool. That's the worst reason to use time travel. It's part of the reason why I never really got into the Enterprise series of Star Trek. Because, you know, I was kind of intrigued on what the universe looked like before the whole Next Generation, and I had never really seen the the original series, so I didn't know exactly what they had discovered. But meeting all the familiar races for the first time, that would have been interesting. And then right off the bat, they go starting with the time travel and a temporal war, and I thought, no, don't do that. I mean, it got even worse later when they started introducing races that they shouldn't have contact with, like the Borg. But that's off topic. That's all the way off topic. Temporal Golem Slave. Ulak Sabapor. Boat hisu alpathakia Fergal. What are you trying to say? I don't understand you. Do you speak my language? Yula Vapakito. Rama Asagus. Time to put on the amulets. You are of the living. There is no place for you here. Flee these rooms, or the guardian golems of the creators will destroy you. Who are you? Are you some type of spirit? I'm a spirit doomed to be a slave to the creators in death, even as I was a slave to them in life. My soul is forever bound to this place, and invulnerable golems the masters forced me to create. Surely there must be some way to defeat these guardian golems. I was a slave when the golems were first fashioned 10,000 years ago. Before this ghostly existence I now endure. The guardians were built without flaw or imperfection. They cannot be beaten. To destroy the golems you would have to travel back in time to the ancient days when the creators walked the earth. You would have to travel to the time the golems were being made and introduce a single flaw into their creation. Why only a single flaw? Why not a multitude of flaws? Like making them vulnerable to bees or milk. Oh well. This small imperfection would make them vulnerable, and would break the spell of the creators that binds my spirit to this place and compels me to sustain the golems for all eternity. Don't worry, I'll destroy the golems and free your spirit. I pray for your success, though I fear you are a fool to try. I am doomed to this fate, but you can still escape this accursed place. The magic of the creators compels me to return to my work. The perfection of the guardians must be maintained. Leave me to my endless torment. Boy, you are gloomy, even for a ghost. Alright, so there's the sundial over there. Guardian Golem Room. And the exit, and there's more ruins over there. With the Guardian Golem Room. Well, let's go say hi to whatever is in this room. Nothing. Oh no. Look at that. There they are. Hey you fellas.
Stand still!
Have you guessed my class yet? Come on, it's so easy. What are you attacking? Let's not do that.
Okay, dokie. Ah! Foul sorcery has turned my weapon to rubber!
The rubber hammer can still hit pretty hard.
Ah, it's done. Okay, dokie.
Why did you have to lure the golem in here?
Okay, dokie. Okay, dokie.
All right. Time to go back to the past. And I probably want to put that crystal somewhere on the button bar. As well as the translation amulet. Alright, back to the past we go. Escape slaves! That's a very bad idea.
Here comes Halfling Death! Ha! I love this part! Ha! 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 Ha!
Alright, another time crystal. A translation amulet. Well, I only need one, but to make sure that I don't mistake it for something important. Alright, let's rest. Alright, your constitution is a little low. Because of that poison you endured, because you were stupid. And attacked something you shouldn't have. Alright, you're back to normal. Let's have a gander. I couldn't take any objects of power, but I'm sure a gold ring is not powerful. No matter how precious it is. And aside from that one lizardman, we've had surprisingly little resistance. But that'll have to do for this episode. Thank you all for watching. See you all next time.